All right. Hey, everybody. Buenos dias. Coder is sending data faster than real time, multiple seconds of video each second. Hi, Danielle. Let's move a little bit. Mm, you can hear me drinking my coffee. Faux show. All right. How's everybody doing? We're at full height. Let's see. We've got windy cold here. Not too cold. I mean, it's New York. It's not windy cold Chicago. And severe weather alerts. But I think those are past. Let's get into some movement. Go ahead and come onto your hands and knees, please. And bring your wrists just in front of your shoulder, knees beneath your hips. And we're going to do lateral stretch here. So take your hips, your right shoulder and hip together on one side. And you can even look over and behind that right shoulder and arm. And then breathe into the center, nice and slow here. And exhale, take your left shoulder and hip on the other side, closer together. So you're kind of crunching your side waist and getting a lateral stretch. So inhale back to center. And exhale, take that contraction on the right side. So shoulder and hip move closer together. And inhale back to center. Gaze towards the floor and exhale, contract the left side. Good. Now, the next time we do this, I want you to focus on the opposite side. So inhale back to center. Gaze towards the floor and exhale, contract on the right side, but bring your awareness to that left side that's opening and contract the left side of the abdomen up slightly. So it's very subtle and you're pushing into that left hand. So you'll notice you'll get a little more stretch and you can keep breathing with this contraction on this side. Right shoulder and hip are coming together and you're lengthening the left shoulder and hip away from each other. Good. Now come back to center and let's move it to the other side. So you're contracting the left shoulder and hip towards each other and moving the right shoulder and hip away from each other. Bring that awareness into that right side and contract the right side of the abdomen up just a little bit. It's really subtle. And you're breathing. Good, and then come back to center. Now let's go into the forward and backward, um, anterior, posterior. So inhale, lift the chest forward and up, lengthen through your spine, and curl your toes under. Stay here for an exhale. Breathe in here. And on your exhale, take the rounding of your spine so your chin comes into the chest, tops of your feet move to the mat. Pull your navel in and up towards your spine. And breathe in here. You'll feel the breath move really closer up behind your shoulder blades. And stay as you exhale. Contract the abdomen up towards the spine. Good. Next time you inhale, come into a neutral spine. Good. Stay here as you exhale. Curl your toes under. Take a look at your elbows. Find neutral through your arms, right? So not external rotation, not internal rotation where the shoulders come up by the neck, but more neutral. Okay. And breathe in here. And on your exhale, lift your knees, your hips, everything up and back, pressing into downward facing dog. Feel the backs of your calves stretch as you sink your heels down towards the floor. And now let's walk it a little bit. So move that left heel down to the floor and bend your right knee. Keep the sit bones moving up and back, getting a nice stretch through the left calf. And then switch sides. So right heel sinks towards the floor, left knee bends. Push the floor forward and away. Good, and then let's take it again. So we're moving pretty slowly here, stretching that left heel and calf down towards the floor. And then switch, move that Right heel down towards the floor. Good. Both heels lift. Look forward. And as you exhale, both heels sink down. Look towards your navel. Look towards your heels, really. And your heels, you actually can't see them because they're hidden behind the widest part of your feet. Good. Next time you inhale, you're going to come forward to plank pose. And as you exhale, drop your knees down to the mat. All right, now you might lift up to the tips of your thumbs and fingers and step your right foot forward between your hands and squiggle it forward so that you can drop the hips down, releasing the front of that left hip flexor, left hip there, and moving the knee forward, but it doesn't go past your ankle. Okay, so breathe in here. And on your exhale, let's move the hips back. Lift the right foot off the mat, and you're folding towards that right thigh, releasing the hamstrings. Yeah. I saw one of our YouTuber yogis, and I know she's a massively strong triathlete, so we're doing a little bit of that movement here to release a little bit of tightness. So don't hate me, Danielle. Bring your hips forward again. And then exhale, stretch it back, folding over that right thigh. And one more time, inhale forward. And exhale, take it back. All right, so that right foot's lifted. Make sure you're not inverting or everting that foot. So the sole of the foot's facing flatly forward. You can walk your hands back if that helps for the balance. And really, the right side of the body is maybe trying to make contact with that right thigh, but we're not moving the torso over towards that right leg. We're keeping the spine aligned with the space between the legs, that imaginary central line. Good. Now slowly come forward towards the low lunge. You might be up on the tips of your thumbs and fingers, or the hands can be down on the floor on blocks. Curl the left toes under. Lift your left knee off the mat. And the next time you inhale, lift your right arm, your right hand up into the air, and keep that left thigh nice and strong. Good. Breathe in here. Stay as you exhale. Inhale here. And exhale. Take the right hand back to the floor. Press back to downward facing dog. And just kind of notice how the body feels here. There's a little bit of a difference between right and left sides. Downward facing dog. All right, inhale forward to plank pose. Exhale, lower your knees down to the mat. Good. Lift the hands to create a little more space, right, between the chest and the floor. So you can pull that left foot forward, and then you might need to squiggle it up a little bit. So we start, it looks like the ankle's in front of the knee, and then as we drop the hips forward, the knee comes over the ankle, and you might still be squiggling it forward a little bit, getting the stretch now through the right hip flexor or the other side. If you're drinking coffee, which is not recommended while you're practicing, you might do that here. And then move the hips back. Lift that left foot off the mat. And release the torso towards the floor. And then you'll move forward. Inhale, take it to the front. Hips drop down, maybe lift the gaze a little bit. And exhale, move your hips back, straightening that left knee or the opposite side, whichever one you're on. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now that left knee is straightening. Again, watch that you're not doing that sort of rounding of the ankles, right? Sole of the foot's facing forward. The left side of the body is moving to making contact with the thigh. So not taking your body over. You're taking it down towards that imaginary central line. And adjust your hands anywhere so that you can feel a little more stability as you hold the posture here. All right, now come forward back to that low lunge. And again, ankles beneath the knee. Curl your right toes under. Keep the right hand on the floor. Lift your right knee off the mat. Inhale, lift your left arm into the air. Keep that right thigh nice and strong. Left knee drawing forward over the ankle. Breathe in here. And exhale. Notice if you're collapsing in that lower shoulder. Lift away. And out. Good. Inhale here. And exhale, take your left hand down to the mat. Inhale to plank pose. And exhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Stay here for another breath. Good. On your next inhale, lift your right foot up into the air behind you. Look up to the front. And as you exhale, pull that right knee forward and lightly step it up between your hands. Help it if you need to, so that right ankle is beneath your knee. And rotate your left heel down to the mat in the back at a 45-degree angle. I don't usually bring my protractor to the mat with me, but you might be an engineer. So press into the left foot in the back. Toes are kind of pointed up and towards the left. And that right knee stacked over the ankle. Reach your arms forward and up. Keep that back thigh nice and strong. Kicking the inner thigh towards the space behind you. Rotating the outer back thigh towards the front. And lifting those arms to frame your head. You're in warrior one. And breathe. Good. Inhale here. Stay as you exhale. Next inhale, straighten your front knee. And as you exhale, take your hands to your hips. All right, breathe in here. Press into the inner edge, the big toe mound of that front foot. Lift your sternum, squeeze your elbows back. And as you exhale, tilt your pelvis forward. You know me, pelvis moves, the spine follows. Keep that back, especially the glute. Feel it activated as you start to come down with the pelvis, right? Finding your balance here. Good. Breathe in here. Good. Stay about parallel to the floor for another exhale. Good. Now release your hands down to frame that front foot. Breathe in. Keep that left thigh strong in the back, especially the inner left thigh. Engage that vastus medialis. It's a quad right around the inner, uh, the medial aspect, the inner side of your knee, just above it. Breathe in and out. Good. One more breath in here. As you exhale, you might drop the torso a little bit closer towards that front thigh. Good. Now on your inhale, you're going to simultaneously rebend the right knee and reach the arms up, coming back into warrior two. And as you exhale, take your hands back to the floor, lift the back heel, press into downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Good. Now, next inhale, take your left foot into the air. And as you exhale, step that left foot up between your hands. So just move to the opposite side. Okay. Your right foot moves slightly forward as you rotate the right heel to the mat. Toes pointing up and a little bit towards the right. And on your next inhale, rooting from that back foot, lifting the arms up. Stay as you exhale, you're in warrior one. Now again, that inner thigh, the back leg is moving towards the space behind you so that the outer thigh rotates slightly forward. Left knee stable over the ankle. Breathe in and out. Maybe lift your sternum a little more. Front of your chest. Good. Now on your inhale, straighten the front knee. As you exhale, take your hands to your hips again. All right, now big toe mound of that front foot pushing into the floor. Hips are parallel or facing forward, parallel to the front of your mat and facing forward. Breathe in here. As you exhale, the pelvis tilts forward. Keep drawing that left hip crease back. Good. Feel that right glute kick in as you just start to come to parallel with the mat. Lengthen through the top of your head. Lower a little bit more. Hold, but not your breath. And release your hands down to frame that front foot. Breathe in, lengthen your spine. Exhale, release the torso down a little bit more. Not all the way yet. Inhale here. And exhale, now release as far as you can go. Relax your jaw, relax your tongue, and breathe. Good. On your next inhale, simultaneously rebend the left knee and reach your arms forward and up. Warrior one. Stay as you exhale. And inhale. And this exhale, take your hands down to frame that front foot. Inhale to plank pose. And exhale, take it into downward facing dog. All right, now you're going to slowly come forward to hands and knees. So take your time. Keep the toes curled under. You're going to love this. Plantar fascia health. Walk your sit bones back. Walk your behind back to rest on your heels. Watch that the feet aren't collapsing out to the sides or resting in towards each other. I'm going to turn around to face you. Not actually to my back to you. You're going to have those toes curled under. And you're sitting back on the heels, but don't do this collapsing out to the sides. You want to keep a little bit of an even stretch and a little bit more across the big toe mound of the foot. If you have arthritis in your big toes, right, and you're working with that around the big toe mound, then you'll sit down with your feet forward and pull the feet across, the hands across the soles of the feet. I'm going to show you that while the rest of you are staying seated on your heels, toes curled under. It's very intense, I know. So this is for if you have arthritis, you'll be a little less intense, right? You're reaching over the soles of the feet and drawing the toes in. You can also do that with a blanket, right? So you're still there. And what you can do when you're in this position and you're getting that nice, lovely stretch across the soles of your feet, it gets a little intense. Just lift the bum up and sit it back down. You're just taking a little break here. And you want to try to keep length through the spine, not contract into the intensity of the stretch in the soles of the feet. And try to keep a smile on your face, not a grimace. Good. We're almost there. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like I can get heat moving out of the soles of my feet when I do this because it's very intense. But it's so great for the sole of your feet, health of the sole of your feet, especially if you're doing lots of intense exercise. Now lift to sit up. Now take the tops of your feet to the mat. Take your hands down to the floor and let's pat them a little bit. Yeah, okay. All right, and back to downward facing dog. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, press into those toes all the way to the tips of your toes and root back into your heels. All right, now let's do some chaturanga push-ups. So come forward to plank pose. And as you exhale, you can do with or without the knees. You're going to lower halfway down. Inhale, press back up. And exhale, you just push slightly forward and lower halfway down. Elbows are in, upper arms by the body. Inhale, come up. And exhale, lower halfway down. Two more. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower halfway down. Remember, you can use your knees if you want to. Strong thighs. Breathe in. And last one. Exhale, lower halfway down. Good. Flip to the tops of your feet. Lift into upward facing dog. Breathe in. Thighs are off the mat here. And exhale to downward facing dog. Good. Full breath in, full breath out. Nice. One more standing posture here. Inhale, lift your right foot up into the air. Well, two, exhale, step that right foot forward, especially good. And rotate your left heel down now. So your left heel in the back leg is lined up with the front heel. You're going to lift up, come into warrior two, soften your gaze out over your right fingertips. Good. On your inhale, turn your right palm up, reach back and over, reverse. Stay here as you exhale, straighten your front knee. Good. Inhale, reach into those right fingertips. Feel it stretch through the side body. And as you exhale, deepen that left hip crease. Sorry, right hip crease, the front hip crease, and drop the right arm down. Lift the left arm up, coming into triangle pose. Good. Breathe in here and out. Next, inhale, push into both feet, come up. As you exhale, lower your arms. Switch the feet to be parallel. Good. And turn your left toes towards the back of your mat. Right heel can move a little bit back behind the toes. And let's bend the left knee coming into warrior two on this side. Extend your arms away from each other. Nice. Turn your left palm up. Inhale, reach back and over, reverse. As you exhale, straighten that front knee. Inhale, stretch those left fingertips up and back. And as you exhale, deepen that right hip crease. Drop the right hand down. The left hand down. Lift your right arm up. You guys know what you're doing. Breathe in here and breathe out. Good. One more breath in and out. Beautiful. Next inhale, push into both feet to come up. Exhale, parallel your feet and lower your hands to your hips. Breathe in, lift your sternum, elbows back, and as you exhale, take a wide leg, forward fold. Releasing your hands down to your ankles, top crown of your head towards the floor. And breathe. Okay, really seal the outer edges of your feet to the mat. Lift the inner arches of your feet, right? Notice if your shoulders have sunk down around your ears and lift them away. Good. Next time you breathe in, come all the way up. And exhale, step your feet together. All right. Without ceremony, let's just go ahead and come onto your backs. Good. Lower all the way down to the floor. Hug your knees into your chest. Okay, now with the knees pulled in, take them out to the sides. So move your knees out to the sides and then slide your hands down to your shins, your ankles, or even towards your feet. I'm going to grab hold of my ankles this morning. Press the soles of your feet together and move your knees wide away from each other. And relax here for just another breath in Supta Pada Konasana, releasing on the floor. Good. And then slowly bring the knees back together and stretch your legs out long. Just for a few breaths here. A little baby Shavasana, little baby corpse pose. Feeling your body resting in the floor and maybe the sort of sensation of energy flowing very smoothly in those places that might have felt a little bit stiff or sore, now becoming unblocked, releasing. Eyes are closed. Breath is coming and going as it will on its own. Great. Take a deep breath in, stretch your arms up overhead behind you. And as you exhale, hug your knees into your chest. Good. Rock up to sit. Nice. Once you've come up to sit, take your right hand, place it in a fist just below your navel. Envelop that right hand with the left. Press back towards the abdomen as you tilt forward and sealing your practice and your energy down, lifting back up. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Have a fantastic day. Check your inbox. I sent an email out last night from the Soul Collective with updates. We've moved over to Mind Body. I think you're going to love the new experience. I know our teachers do, and they're really excited to see you all for real. Take care.